you open your mouth once again to emit another portion of meaningless vocal garbage, sincerely believing that your words carry at least some weight. The mass has turned human speech into devalued inflationary trash. You generate hundreds of promises, build grandiose plans out aloud, and spend hours discussing your future successes, yet your reality remains unchanged. You are an ordinary talker trying to camouflage a total absence of tactical results with loud mental noise. Look at your physical markers the moment you begin to hand out empty promises. Your gaze darts around in search of approval. Your shoulders are convulsively raised, and your breathing becomes intermittent. Your central nervous system physically betrays your insecurity. Your body knows that behind your words stands neither hard capital, nor a will to action, nor a rigid structure. This is the physical log of your decay. You waste precious biological energy shaking the air, while your real affairs rot at the foot of the hierarchical ladder. The rules here are simple. If you lack intellect, do not interfere. Let's descend to the mundane facts and break down your personal economics. You can spend hours philosophizing about large-scale projects, businesses, and million-dollar deals, but as soon as it comes down to paying basic bills, your arrogance instantly evaporates. Remember how you enter the local supermarket. Your neocortex automatically switches into a mode of harsh austerity, hunting down promotional items and discount coupons. You calculate pennies at the checkout counter, while out aloud, you continue telling your friends about your prospects. This inflation of the cheap word is the most vivid marker of a systemic defect. Your pockets are empty, and your saggy couch, dust-covered baseboard, and unwashed sink are the true price of your authority. You voluntarily chose the role of a virtual millionaire with a real zero balance on your card. The system squeezes the remnants of focus out of you, allowing you to simulate greatness in conversations so that you obediently remain in your enclosure and do not interfere with strong players distributing the tangible resources of the planet. Why is the mass so frantically afraid to fall silent and begin acting? Because in the silence, the illusion of your significance vanishes. It is vitally necessary for you to constantly broadcast your thoughts, share your opinion in the comments, and seek cheap support from an equally ineffective environment. You have created a comfortable echo chamber out of empty dialogues where your laziness and helplessness will never face a cold tactical challenge. The moment you are left alone in a room without gadgets and external noise, a primal, sticky fear instantly awakens inside you. It is the fear of realizing that without your loud words, you are an absolute zero. You and your environment have turned into lead biorobots who gather together solely to mutually preserve each other's poverty, to the accompaniment of stories about how everything will change soon. Remember, this is a place of strength, and weak elements are not welcome here. If you lack intellect, do not interfere. Your dopamine synapse is completely burnt out by the endless consumption of external content and the generation of your own empty talk. Your evenings are a mechanical scrolling of a short video feed where you adopt other people's thoughts, other people's filler phrases, and other people's conclusions, passing them off later as your own. Your attention span is destroyed to zero. You are incapable of holding focus on a single complex task for longer than 10 minutes. Your memory has become worse than that of a goldfish. You have turned into an ideal, sterilized information consumer who has forgotten how to think and only knows how to reflexively shake the air. Your neocortex is in a state of deep hibernation. You waste hours of your only biological life packing the pockets of platform owners with your attention, while your real life grows thick with dirt and markers of poverty. This is a pure, 100% systemic defect. In the wild, a predator never warns its prey of an attack with loud conversations. It acts silently, with ice-cold calculation, utilizing a rigid tactic and the force of its grip. Loud sounds are emitted only by frightened herbivores attempting to ward off fear or summon the herd for help. You have already been left behind. Unit A, X3. You sit in your burrow and continue to believe that your words will someday transform into capital without supreme efforts and harsh actions. Remember once and for all, this is a place of strength. The social hierarchy, money, and resources see only pure, aggressive energy, an icy structure, and measurable results. The system simply does not read your excuses, your explanations of why it didn't work out, and your promises to start from Monday. For the system, you are an invisible, gray biomass, consumable material for other people's triumphs. The collar of freedom presses against your neck only because you yourself are afraid to tear off the leash and fall silent for the sake of real work. If you lack intellect, do not interfere. Listen to my final order. You will never halt this inflation of the cheap word, and you will never fix your defective brain, which is clogged with garbage programs, unless you start acting right now. Your only tactical ticket out of this electronic corral for talkers is the goods of the empire, access to strength, rigid algorithms, and pure content content in discussions is expensive, and there will never be freebies for weak elements here. The starting price for our closed goods of the empire is already fixed in the discussion below this video. Every 10 people, the bar will be automatically and ruthlessly raised several times over. The window of opportunity is closing right now. The time to buy has come before your place in line is taken by a more quick-witted player who thinks and acts faster than your worn-out CNS. If you are totally broke and don't even have this money, your path is one. Shut up. Gnaw out your living space with your teeth. Develop your personal empire from scratch. Pinpoint cut out the parasites in your environment and completely liquidate any fuss of the CNS. Communicate strictly based on facts, without unnecessary empathy. Either you buy the goods of the empire and rewrite your personality code from scratch, or you remain a talker whose words are not worth even the paper on which they could be written. The code is launched for execution. Inject this virus into the masses or be erased from the system.